Hi everyone, Jeff Marion here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. You heard about the PACT Act that passed the Senate, but that act also included the Camp Lejeune Justice Act that passed the Senate as well. I'll tell you what happens next and what you can expect and what's in it for you in this video. This is a series of videos designed to help you understand personal injury law. I help veterans get their benefits like in this video. So please, click on the like button if you find the video helpful, subscribe to the channel, and click on the bell to make sure that you get notifications when new videos come out. I've been fighting for veterans for over 15 years and helping them get benefits inside and outside of the courtroom. I created this channel to help inform veterans and the public at large about their rights. You probably heard on the news and saw the controversy about something called the PACT Act. What was contained in that bill, which was a larger bill that helped veterans who've been exposed to toxic chemicals, was the Camp Lejeune Justice Act, which had been kicking around and had passed the House in early June. Now, in August of 2022, it's finally passed the Senate. And what it does is it will help those who are affected by contaminated water at Camp Lejeune. For many years, the water at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, was contaminated by known carcinogens benzene, PCE, TCE, and other hazardous solvents like battery acid and the runoff from the artillery fields. Back in June, the Camp Lejeune Justice Act passed the House and finally passed the Senate in August 2022. As I shoot this video, it's about 99.99% likely that the President is going to sign this bill into law. Question for you. Has the government fulfilled its obligation to veterans? If you go to the VA headquarters in Washington, D.C., you will see a quote from Abraham Lincoln's second inaugural address, which says, "To care for him that has borne the battle and his widow and his orphan." That really is the obligation of our Department of Veterans Affairs and our obligation to veterans, not only as a society, but as a government. Have we fulfilled that obligation? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. So what does the Camp Lejeune Justice Act do? It creates an opportunity to sue basically the government for damages in a court of law due to exposure to the potable or drinkable water at Camp Lejeune. You'll be able to institute suit in the Eastern District of North Carolina. So what do you have to show? First, you can show that you or a relative were at Camp Lejeune for 30 days between August 1st of 1953 and December 31st of 1987. This will create a presumption of exposure to the contaminated water. Now, whatever illness you have to show studies or have a doctor that's on board that says that the illness or birth defect, neurological condition, heart condition either was caused directly by consumption of the water, was associated to exposure to the water, consumption of the water increased the likelihood of the harm, or any study that concludes that these chemicals that were in the water were one possible cause to prove sufficient exposure and connect your illness or disability with consumption of that water. So what's covered? Many forms of cancer, cardiovascular disease, neurological disorders, birth defects. There's quite an extensive list, and if you can find a study that proves it, you should probably contact an attorney. Ultimately, you have to prove, unlike in a civil court, which is a preponderance of the evidence, you have to show that it's more likely than not, or in a criminal case, beyond a reasonable doubt, you only have to show that it's as least as likely as not. Think of it as in baseball, tie goes to the runner. So if your evidence that the condition was caused by consuming the water is equal to the evidence that it's not, you win. So that's something very important. That's a change and a very significant part of the law you need to be aware of. Now you've got 2 years from the date of enactment of the statute. So let's say August of 2024 is going to be your time in which to file suit. Now, if you filed for VA benefits for service-connected disability compensation benefits, you have 180 days from final denial, which is really if the Board of Veterans' Appeals denies your claim, then you'll have 180 days to file this case in the Eastern District of North Carolina. If you or a loved one spent 30 days or more at Camp Lejeune and you suffered an illness such as cancer, cardiovascular disease, infertility, Parkinson's disease, or other neurological disorder, please contact my office. You may be entitled to recover something. I'll sit down with you for free and go over your case with you. I want to take a moment to thank all of you for watching this video and taking time out of your day. If you found it helpful, please click on that like button. Make sure you share it in your social media network so that others that may find it helpful or useful can see it. Also, make sure that you comment or leave your questions, and also subscribe to my channel. I'll be back very soon with more news as it comes along on this and other topics that help veterans. So take care.